So let's run over this side. I've kind of cocked up the door here, so that's a work in progress. That's a work in progress. It's not going to be like that. And then we have this ship here, which is effectively the same as the miner, but it's just a grinder and welder for large ship purposes. Now, it's also fed from an internal storage area. And basically, think of this as a JCB or a forklift. I've actually called it forklift because it's also got a grabby army thing here as well, so you can actually then go and salvage stuff and grab it into the grinders, which we'll show you in a bit. So, again, it's really a lot of utility vehicles that I'm kind of thinking about here. Okay, let's carry on. Look at this. The Cyclops is back. We actually put the Cyclops all the way back in, and it's got a proper entry bay thingamajig. There we go. So there we go. Our precious Cyclops is back. It's useless though, I've got to admit. It is absolutely useless. Single grinding discs and single welders are really not much better than having the stuff in your inventory, so yeah. It's nice though. I mean, it's nice to have that obviously there. I'm not happy with the docking port as it stands, so we're going to do a bit of work on that, but as you can see, it's all connected, so for now it'll do. Over here we have our next big project's docking bay. So we're actually going to build quite a big ship here, but that's for future purposes. I won't say any more than that. We're going to build something quite stupendously, stupidly big there. But for now, it's just a docking port. Put it from your minds. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Right. Let's go and show you the conning tower. So again, didn't quite work as planned, but the idea is that you would have multiple decks here. So you see here we have like a sort of deck there, and then another deck. And the idea is that as things come out that maybe we can populate in this area, we'll put them in there. But again, just it's open space at the moment. And then we have our kind of CNC. This is where we would control the base from. Now the idea here is that we'll build internal turrets throughout the base, and that's obviously what I'm working on at the moment. And once we're then done, if somebody should dare try to attack us, we can then come up here, throw a switch, and then effectively all of the internal turrets switch on. And we're going to put internal turrets above all of the pipeways as well. So it'd be actually very difficult to come up into this area. But it's not finished. As you can see, there's a little bit of work to be done. And also we've got turrets on the top, and then obviously that door looks pretty stupid up there, but it'll do for now. They do need hatches, I think, but hey, there we go. So up here we then have, if I could ever get through this door, because lol doors. Come on, let's go. And we have our beacon up here as well. There we go. And then we have our turrets. So this is very much the CNC, and we're working on this as well, but I think at the moment it's looking quite nice. So let's go down into the bowels of this station. Sounds inviting, doesn't it? Yes, let's go to the bowels of this wonderful station. I'm still not very good at moving in an up-down direction. So here we go. And then really the idea here is that there is a gravity field. So if and again I'm skeptical to do this. No, I've lost my balls. Basically, as I drop, you should see the gravity field kick in and invert. Oh, wow, that's good. I didn't do that then, because there isn't actually working. Oh, there we go. So there we go, the gravity field inverts. So as I switch that off, you see there, it kind of softens my blow. And then I'm caught between two gravity fields, and that's quite nice. So there we go. Hopefully got that. Because the idea was, and again, I'm probably going to have to get rid of this lip here, because it keeps killing me every time I do it, is we're going to get rid of that lip. So effectively, you could just jump down here, and then the gravity fields will actually stop you at the level you want to be at. So, for example, here, and let me explain what this is. This is our cargo, our reactors, and the beginnings of our hangar decks. So, yeah, hangar decks. That's right, you heard right. And I'm trying to do something quite clever here, so it's going to fail, I can already tell. But the idea is that I want to have an automated building area. So the idea is that here, for example, so where the block is where you would build your little ship. And then on the side here would be robotic arms that then, once you're ready, would move forward and then weld everything together. So large welders. I'm going to try it, seriously. Don't mock me. Don't laugh. I can hear you laughing. And hopefully it'll work, because then we can actually just literally build the frame of everything and then press a button and then just watch the station build it. So it's almost like an automated manufactory thingamajig. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we have the same again down here. Now the idea is that the gravity would be inverted, so you could have obviously, you know, gravity on one side and gravity on the other. I'm working on that. I think you can even set the gravity field to be 1 meter wide, which is awesome. So we're again all stuff to do. Hopefully you're seeing the reason why I play this game. Look at all the projects I've got to do here. This is like busy time. Let me show you the guns. So obviously everything's connected and there's guns looking at everything. Now again, some say that I've got too many guns. I say, you know, tish and piff to that, because I don't. You can never have too many guns, and you know, I stand by that. We then have multiple cargo thingamajigs, but again, I've got to admit, don't leave them exposed like this. It's very often I'm losing these now, so you know, I think honestly I need to probably replace or build a wall around it at least. Same probably with the reactors, they're looking a bit exposed. It does look nice though, doesn't it? So there you go, that's one I've lost, and I just haven't had the materials to replace it just yet. Okay, so this hangar deck is going to grow exponentially. At the moment it's too small, and I want to widen it by about double, so it's going to be all the way out to about here, and then, you know, that'll be something that we do over time. So there's 4 hangars, as you saw, and it's rather lovely. It works quite well. So let's go and have a look now at the grinder deck, and that's not a blue oyster bar, I promise. I've even recolored it just so it looks very obviously kind of a danger area. And the idea here is that this has now got a completely inverted gravity field, so actually down is now up. So, you know, if I turn my energy thingamajig off, there we go, we're now in amongst the blades, and that's kind of, this is my, you know, grinding deck. So as we grab ships and so on, we can put an artificial mass block on them, and then we drop them on here, and then it basically, you know, grinds them apart. You should have seen that in a previous video. And then what it does is it just sends all of the parts to the cargo cans automatically. So bloody lovely stuff, I think you'll agree. So there we go. This is pretty much our station, and this is what we're, you know, I'm very proud of this thing. I think, you know, I'm quite keen to keep building on this. I would say if you have a spaceship, like we've started with the flagship, if you haven't built a station yet, give it a thought, because it is actually incredibly fun. I must admit, I think the whole game opened up even more so when a station came into the thing, because there's just more little projects to do. Once you've got a station, your first thought is, well, you know, what would you have as maybe a manufactory? What would you have maybe as an internal defense? You know, how would you maybe build defenses and make it kind of structured? Having fixed refineries has been a big one for me. So just having the ability to kind of have, let me show you, multiple refineries just really, you know, made a lot of sense to me. Oh, that's interesting. Why isn't that using that? Anyway, there we go. And just having that ability is really cool. And then I think when it comes to, obviously look at how many things we've got, so that's obviously too many. I think you need the ability to hide Gatling guns. I think if they're full, they should be hidden, to be honest, or at least have the option, just say all guns, all manufacturing, assemblers, refineries, and so on. But there we go, can't do much about that. It is nice, you can just see all cargo cans, so this is nice. So we've obviously got that's our storage inventory on our ship. These are then obviously our storage areas, etc. But there is a bug, you can't name them. So if I go to control panel, I do like, no, I must have got that wrong. Hang on. There we go. I do like that you can say cargo, and then it just shows you all of that. I didn't know that. I was so stupid in it, I just didn't know that. But in this case, I've renamed number 8, but number 8 doesn't appear in the inventory as renamed, so that's obviously a bug. But oh well. So yeah, that's it. I mean, to be honest, I think this game just gets better and better, really. I mean, there's not much more you can say about it. It just becomes one of these games that I think if you're not, I mean, again, a lot of people watch these videos, I think, to enjoy the build that I do. But I would say, you know, that's only half the fun. I think you should try it yourself, bros. And I think you'll find that actually the fun of the game is with your own build. And I think while, you know, I try and obviously build what I like, and I think, to be honest, none of this was designed. I know, none of it was pre-planned and designed. I know, crazy, isn't it? It's so perfect. And I think, to be honest, that's why I've ended up with a bit of a shit ship. But as you can see, you know, it's all about kind of thinking, well, you know, what inspires you? And I think for me, this ship was always inspired by you know, the Babylon 5s and these Imperial Star Destroyers and all that. And it's all about having raised decks and then drop down areas, etc. So I think really it's up to you to find obviously what you love, but I think the game really is an exceptionally kind of clever game, and it's a slow burner. It won't grab you at first, but once you get it, it will grab you, and then once you're grabbed, you're grabbed. And to be honest, that's when you realise, you know, that there is an incredibly good game here to be played. And I think, to be honest, there is a lot to do as well. I think, you know, we kind of look at in the videos as much as we can, but the reality is that, you know, I'm only showing you 10% of what I record, because there's just so much. So, you know, the beauty of building, for example, the beauty of building a miner, then going and mining, is an incredibly relaxing endeavor. The beauty of them building grinder ships and assembly ships and things like the Cyclops, those are really fun, you know, activities that, you know, will take you an hour to do, but once you've done it, it's so satisfying. I mean, building that thing there, although it looks like an absolute pile of poo, it is just a wonderful little buggy to zoom around in. So, you know, I think, to be honest, that is part of the game, is just having a little of an inventive mind, and then going and building these wonderful inventions. So, there we go. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I think, you know, I just wanted to kind of do a quick pause with this. I wanted to show you really what I've been building and what I'm working on, because I think, to be honest, you're just going to see this grow, you know, episode upon episode. And it is just so much fun. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.